Bus Simulator. Is it good? Yeah. For as long as I can remember, I've always wanted to play a bus simulator to live out the dream of being a bus driver. This game has lived up to that dream and it is really realistic and fun to play. The game is set in a fictional European city. The map is not very large but quite diverse, from built up metropolitan areas to a rural European countryside, all the way to an industrial dock, so you'll never get bored of the scenery. Loading into the game can take a long time, upwards of 2 minutes on the PlayStation 4. It's fortunately a little bit shorter on the PS5, but not by much. The game runs fine but nowhere near 60 frames, but for someone who's always wanted a bus simulator, I can look past it. Car AI is very forgiving and it often feels like the cars are just giving way even when they have right away on the road. But I guess this is better than pulling out on me and me complaining, oh the AI is so silly, it's pulling out when it doesn't have right away. This game feels great on a steering wheel, especially with force feedback. I'm using a Logitech G29, meaning that you can feel every pothole and speed bump, both of which you need to avoid or go through slowly to avoid a fine. However, using a wheel can make taking passengers' payments frustrating, because you have to switch between controller and wheel. Eventually I would switch off passenger payments and pretend that everyone in my city has bus passes. It's lazy, I know, but at least there's a feature that lets me turn off payments. While driving you have to adhere to road speed limits, but unfortunately on my 32-inch TV I found it very difficult to see the speed limit signs. This could have been remedied by putting the speed limit on the GPS, which is actually quite a normal thing in real life for a GPS to display the speed, and definitely on the GPS. I wouldn't want it on the hood because there is no hood in this game bar the mirrors, and I love that. It keeps you fully engrossed in the bus. However, all buses do come with a speed limiter, which is great at preventing speeding, but it does make it feel a little bit too easy. During the main missions, if you can call it that, you're given objectives like make a route to the university. Once you've completed these routes, you can assign a fleet of buses to it, which is great. When you're driving other routes, you'll see these buses from that route, and even as you get more buses, they'll eventually start to block up the bus stops, which I loved. It felt very realistic to be waiting for another bus to pull away so I could pull in. After you've finished all the missions, you'll realise that all the routes are very cluttered, and for every route that you add, it makes the menus more laggy and unresponsive. So often I'd load up the game and I'd be like, I can't deal with the lag, I'm just going to load into the first route and just keep doing that one. I'll mention the audio because the audio is one of my favourite things about this game. If you've ever spent a lot of time on buses, you'll recognise all the rattles, all the shakes, all the squeaks of the buses when you're going fast, round turns, braking. They've got them all. Opening the doors, kneeling down. Oh, every noise that a bus makes is in this game, and it is amazing. I would recommend this game to anyone who owns a console and has ever wanted to drive a bus. That was Bus Simulator, and I give it an 8 out of 10.